The people right now who are saying you should still have to mask up on planes because I'm a doctor and I'm so smart were the ones saying when everyone else was locked down, these BLM protests are really important, guys. This is about saving lives, so we can make an exception for this. They are ideologically overzealous libs. That's what you're actually dealing with.
There's no doubt. And what is going to continue to be a battle, and by the way, I want to say this. They will try to bring this back.
I was going to say, you don't think we're done, do you? I don't think we're done either. They're going to bring it back when they can.
They will try to bring it back this coming winter, or if there's another variant, and that is why we have to send such an incontrovertible message come November. Everybody has to vote out all of these Democrats who tried to take away your freedoms. There have to be consequences. There needs to be a reckoning. I wanted to open up lines, too, and let people who were on airplanes and actually experience. Because how cool is that, Buck? When you're, I mean, what I thought was so great about that, those videos that went viral of the pilots being able to come out and the flight attendants being able to come out was you saw how small the number of people that were actually committed to wanting to wear masks really was when those airplanes erupt in cheers and people are ripping the masks off their faces. It's a tiny subset that dictated this to us.
Oh, the COVID commies were always a tiny minority of the overall population when it came to masking on planes. Certainly by year 2 of this, I do not believe that anybody who was willing to sit in a restaurant without a mask on should have been, by logic, willing to sit in an airplane, which is actually safer. It's not even equivalent. It is safer than a crowded restaurant or bar. So it made no sense all along. But we were being held hostage to the neuroses of leftists who think that fashion and science are the same thing. You know, whatever is at one point in time what the cool kids are saying is actually what the science says, which is not in any way the same thing. So the end of this, I think, is fantastic. And it's also a reminder, I think, of why this was so important, Clay, to the people that were the most restrictionists, the lockdowners, the Fauci. By the way, where's Fauci? I want to see.
It's true. He's totally vanished.
Fauci in a few minutes.
Yeah.
He should be appearing on TV any moment saying it's too early. It has only been 2 years of masking on planes. We can't take our foot off the throttle or whatever you use a foot for in a plane. Yeah, I mean, there's no way that Fauci's going to appear right now because everyone would say, "Wow, he really is absolutely horrible." But I don't think it's gone for good. And now is when the voting actually really needs to get ramped up, folks. Or rather, the idea of voting needs to be so clear for everybody. Because, Clay, the federal mask mandate on planes was the libs sticking their thumb in the eyes of everybody who lives in a red state, of everybody who didn't have to deal with the COVID madness. And so this is really going to heat things up because they like that. This was a toy that the left had that they really don't want to give up. And so you're going to see both sides getting really aggravated over this.
How about the cowardice of the Biden administration, too? I don't think we can underrate this. As we were talking and this news came out yesterday, and they did, remember, Buck, when we broke the news, and I said, well, that's interesting. The Department of Justice didn't immediately say we intend to appeal. And, you know, they said we'll have to review the ruling. And basically what Biden did and has done so far is he allowed this Trump-appointed judge, and God bless her again, Judge Catherine Kimball Mizell, who deserves a lot of credit for writing what may be the most consequential federal district court opinion of the 21st century so far when you consider all of the impacts that it immediately undertook based on when her ruling came out, the millions of people who were immediately impacted. Buck, when you really break this down, Biden just allowed this 35-year-old judge, Trump appointee, to change the entire CDC rules, basically, by pointing out that they were illegitimate. And that way he didn't have to get attacked by his own base, which are those blue check mark, I want to wear mask forever people. So now Biden can say, oh, this wasn't my choice. This was the choice of this Trump judge. But by not fighting it, he's acquiescing to the fact that her legal reasoning is correct but simultaneously being able to blame her so that his base doesn't attack him for making this choice.